Okay, well, hello everybody. Almost through. I'm in Canvas. I'm just brush this back and forth like this. A little bit of blue. Just a little bit blue. Just a little bit of blue. A little bit to go a long ways. Brush this back and forth. This is a 2-inch brush I'm using. 2-inch brush. Vertical and horizontal. Vertical means you go straight and down like this, and then horizontal starts. Here you go, Lady Tanya. How you doing, Lady Tanya? Okay, this is horizontal. Horizontal means you go straight and cross like this. This is horizontal, and vertical means you go straight and down like this. This is vertical, means you go straight and down. Like this. This stuff I'm putting on it is like oil type paint. That's like a linseed oil into it. That's why it kind of stays wet. It has like a oil type color to it, so it stays wet. Helps us to kind of blend the colors a little bit. Wolf, I'm gonna see if I can drop the link so you can come up and pray if it'll work for me. Yeah, there's Julie in here. Let's see if I can get. I don't need any singing. If anybody comes up on the panel, please do not sing. But I'd be glad to have you in the live stream tonight, up on the panel, but no singing. I'll try to drop this link again. So, I did a live earlier today, and it went well. Let's see if I can drop this link. Wolf, I dropped this link, and let's see, Wolf, if you'd like to come up and pray. I'm gonna try. And that should be next. If I can get Pink up here, Pink could probably help me with this. But next Tuesday night, next Tuesday is the what is it, guys? It's live teaching painting class right here on my channel. And that is going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay, now I think we get that pretty well taken care of. I think this don't work. Okay, thanks, gosh, girl. I may do it quite straight, but that'll be okay if I do. I'm gonna try it again, guys. The okram's starting up now. Now we're gonna set up some. Looking for some burnt sienna. Once I have some burnt sienna, I had to order me some new paints, so that way I have my paints ready for next week. Now, however, let's see. Okay, so now we're going to start getting into some. Let's see. I'm going into some brown. We'll start that on here. We're going to put some brown in here. Might do a sunset. I bet a good old sunset. Okay, thanks, Sky Girl. I've been enjoying Pink Motivation's Women of the Bible. It is a very interesting, and I really loved it tonight when God's girl was uh, talking about the other Mary in the Bible. It's really, I really love it a lot. Okay, now I'm going to put some ochre up in there. Right. Well, just be a teaching, me doing a teaching deal. Hey, Black Carp, how you doing? Okay, now we're going to get in a little bit more burnt sienna. Ooh. Oh, yes, look at that burnt sienna. Wow, beautiful color. And brush it back and forth, blend your sky out. don't worry, guys. There's going to be a painting because I started to do the. Okay. Now, let's just blend the sky. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sky going on. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want, we can just stir up some blue here. Blue, blue. And going to start some blue. Okay. Guys, excuse me just a minute. Okay. So we're going to take some blue. I'm going to take some blue. I'll take some white right there. And I'm going to stir this up. Yeah, I really like I've been enjoying that the ladies of the Bible. Thanks, Pink, for the real ladies of the ladies of the Bible, because I really enjoyed that. I really have. Okay, now I'm gonna put some water in there. Okay. Now to wipe off this knife. It's just a regular painting knife. Okay, that's all it is. Came in a set. Now I'm gonna sit and wash this brush with Otis now. Okay, wash it out. This is my second lab to do. The second one. Okay. This way you guys get to watch me. And, this way is a good way for you all to learn how to, how to paint. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now this is a 2-inch brush. So now we're going to just do the water. I'm going to do my water like this, okay? Back and forth, horizontal strokes. Vertical means you go straight downward. Vertical means you would do it like this, but horizontal means you go straight across. This right here, what I'm doing is horizontal. Horizontal means you go straight across, but vertical means you go straight and down. Like modern art, don't it? Yeah. Could look like modern art, huh? Okay. Now, let's see here. Okay. Here we go. I'm looking for my green. Okay, here we go. I had ordered me some new paints. So my new paint should be coming in pretty soon. And I ordered me some new brushes too. Oh yes. Ordered me some new brushes, ordered me some new paints. It should be coming in. Yes, it should be. Can one of you can one of my mods run my playlist for me? I'm still trying to work to get to my 1K. Hopefully, I want to get to 1K by hopefully by my birthday, which my birthday is in November. I'd like you guys to help me so I can get to 1K. Okay, so now we had this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on some grass. Right? I get grass. Let me wash my brush. Okay, no, shake it off. I'm going to dry this off on paper towel just like this. What you do is you get all that paint and all that stuff out of your brush, because if you let paint stay in your brushes, what's going to happen over time is your brush will get very hard. So this way I'm cleaning out all that stuff. If you don't want paint just to stay in your bristles, okay? You want to wash it out, because you don't want it to stay in there. The more it stays in there, the more it's going to become hard to get it out of your brush. Okay, so now let's see, we're going to do some grass. Okay, put some grass in there like this. And just tap your grass like this. Oh, I know what you call these kind of paint. Abstract. Abstract painting. This is not abstract painting. That's what you're looking for, but in my case, I'm not looking for that tonight. No abstract painting tonight. Just a simple little painting. Okay. Right. Now, one of the things they taught me in art school to do is you do the furthest thing in the background first. This is known as the background. You have background, the middle ground, and the foreground. Right now, I'm working everything in the background first. Then you work towards the front. Okay? That makes sense. Okay. Gosh girl, can you drop my link so other people can connect with me? Okay, there we go. Oh, I have to tell you guys something, that on May the 30th, it's another meetup. And I'm going to meet Pink Motivation and Real Lady Tanya and Shirley. And I'm going to meet them. And it's going to be so much fun. So much fun. I think one of them might even do a live that day. I might get my sister-in-law to film it too. I'm not sure I can do a live, but I can get my sister-in-law to film it for me. Ooh, wow, that is going to be fun. I can't wait. Yes. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. We're going to need to do some trees in there. If you don't have certain colors, like if you don't have green, you can make green by using blue and yellow will make green. Blue and yellow makes green. So, yeah, try that. If you don't have blue, if you don't have green, try mix of blue and yellow. Blue and yellow will make green for you. Okay. For instance, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, what is the date? Okay, I don't know this yet. Okay, so I'm gonna take some blue and yellow. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, this is this is the color right here. This is yellow ochre. We put a little bit of yellow ochre. Put some yellow ochre right there. Okay. Now I have some yellow ochre right there where the green is. Okay. Take some blue. Let's see. The green color. Green color. Okay. Okay. So this is pale blue. Okay. There we go. You guys watch this. I'm going to show you how to make green. Okay, keep your eyes on this. Okay. So now you have yellow ochre and blue. Take your palette knife and start mixing that up. And you should have a green. Prussian blue would work in this, but Prussian blue is very strong color. A very, very strong color. And so, anyway, it's a very strong color. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now we just made green. Now you saw how to make green. Okay. Okay. We're gonna make some trees. There's a tree right here. Take your brush and make some evergreen trees. Some people call these pine trees. I call them evergreen trees. Pink, you still in the building? Pink, I might Pink, I might call you tomorrow, Pink. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you why I'm doing this live, but I'm gonna call you tomorrow, Pink. I'm gonna tell you something. So, well, I think you'll like it, Pink. I'll call you tomorrow, Pink, and tell you all about it. Okay, now let's see here. There you go. Okay. Now you don't have a tree. See, a tree is not that hard to do. These trees don't need to be straight up. Okay, you just keep them very short. Earlier, I did a painting. That from side to side, like you're making with Z's. I don't have another fan brush, so I'm gonna use them. Use what I have. You can use what you have. If you don't have a certain brush, just use what you have. You know? Use what you have. You know what I mean? I can just use what you have. Okay. Now I'm gonna make tiny bushes. Make tiny bushes with a brush like this. Okay. Tiny bushes to cover up that. See that spot right there? Just take your brush, make tiny bushes. These are background bushes. These are background trees. Okay. So if you, when you're doing a painting, okay. So when you're doing painting, so everything is in the background first. You do everything in the background. Let me see if I can get this brush to work right. You know, it's stiff. I didn't wash that brush out. That's what happens when you don't wash them out. Okay, there you go. And put some shapes into your trees. See? Okay, now back to doing the smaller bushes. Okay, there you go. See? Do the smaller bushes first. You might want to write this stuff down. So this is an 18 by 24 canvas. Okay. Hey, Storm by Faith. Okay. Be sure to I'll be sure to give those thumbs up as soon as you come in the building because it does help. Okay, now let's take this big old 2-inch brush and do a small brush. But there you go. It goes a little bit faster when you use a big old 2-inch brush. These are background bushes. But these bushes, we won't put any highlight on these because they're background bushes. It's like the trees are background. Okay? Background trees, background bushes. This way for me to explain to you what I'm talking about. I have to show you a painting in a minute, and then I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. Let me see something. Hang on, just 1 minute. Let's see. I would say, oh, you missed it. Ah, I'm used to it. See, I'm a professional artist, so I'm used to this kind of stuff. Okay, now let's see here. And I'm a professional artist. Okay, let's see here. Well, we can straighten this tree up. There you go. See, straighten up the tree and put some. There you go. Put some. See, let's straighten that tree up. Okay, so we had to straighten that tree up. Okay, straighten up the tree. Okay, I gotta wipe my fingers off. Okay, let's move on. Okay, you can just pull down the reflections. Take a brush, pull this down, pull it straight down for reflections in the water. If you want reflections, you don't have to if you don't want to. Just like, see if you guys like to do something. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to put some like this. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, there you go. Now I'm gonna clean that brush. I'm gonna go into some yellow, some sap green. Okay. Now we're gonna put in brashy areas right there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait till next week. It's the other teaching painting live class we'll be doing. Hope y'all would join us next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Hope you guys are join us. We always have fun, don't we, guys? Yeah, we always have fun. Teaching painting live class. We always have fun with that. Yes, yes, we do. Yes, we always have fun with that. Painting teaching live class. Okay. There's a hour live stream today. Did 1 hour. Can somebody share out this live stream for me? I would really appreciate it. I could share out the live stream. Share out the live stream. I would really, really appreciate it. If one of my mods could run my playlist, I'd appreciate it. More people could, more people could enjoy my stuff. Okay. Now we're going to do some bushes. Okay, we're going to take a 2-inch brush, some black and satin green, mix them together. If you don't have satin green, it's okay. Now I'm going to do some bushes. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to make a bush like right there and put some shapes into your bushes. Don't be afraid to put shapes into your bushes. Put some shapes into your bushes. Let's this brush out. Okay. Now, let's see here. Like this. I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and I'm going to blend these bushes. This takes a while. You've never done this kind of stuff before. Of course, me, I'm a professional artist. If some of you guys don't have me, subscribe, and always give me the thumbs up. It always helps. And also ring my bell. Ring my bell. It's Pink always saying on her live, remove as one. Yeah. Be sure to, ring my bell and subscribe. Subscribe and thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me show y'all what I'm talking about when I'm talking about foreground, background, foreground, and middle ground. Oh, okay. You see this painting right here? Okay, y'all see this painting? All right. Now you see these bushes right here? These bushes are known in the background. Right here, this is known as your background, okay? And these are in the middle. These bushes like in the middle, but you do everything further in the back. Then you work towards the front and the middle. These are like right in the middle of this painting, okay? And here is the front. So you work when you get through doing your sky, okay? Once you get through doing your sky, you do everything in the background. Then you work towards the middle. All right, this is the middle. These bushes right here, from here to there, is the middle. This is your front. Okay, so then you can do a lot of stuff in the front. So if you're gonna have big trees like these trees and this tree over here, so you're gonna have a lot of trees, then do the trees. Okay, after you get through doing the background, the middle ground, Then you're working on the front. I just love this painting. Okay, and then you have waterfall. This is the waterfall, and you do a waterfall with a fan brush, if that helps. But this is the front, and this is more. Excuse me. This is more uh, trees and stuff. Okay, I just wanted to show this and explain to y'all about the background. So when you're painting, you do everything in the background first. Then you work towards the middle, which is this. Then you work towards the front, which is this. Okay, isn't it beautiful? It's pretty, isn't it? And this stuff right here was called black gesso. Black gesso is a acrylic paint, but not the waterfall. The waterfall is oil paints. Okay, so I hope that helps some of y'all. Okay, now let's see here. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. Um. Okay. We're going to do. I forgot what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm gonna wash this brush. Wash the brush out with Otis there. Make sure it's Otis. If you wash your brushes out in turpentine, woo, I'll tell you what, turpentine does not smell very good, man. Oh man, that turpentine stinks. Unless you're used to using turpentine. Me, I'm not used to. I'm not used to using that stuff. That stuff stinks. But some of y'all, some of y'all prefer to paint with acrylics. The acrylic paints are they're real good to paint with. I used to paint with acrylics myself years and years ago. That's before I got into doing oil paints. With oil paints, I can put on top of layer on layer on layer of paint of paints. I'm sorry. Okay, now we're doing the bushes. Okay, I just hoping that helps some of you guys to know how to do your background, middle ground, foreground. That's something they taught me in art school to do. In art school, they taught me about the about the middle ground, foreground, front. They taught me that in school, in art school. Okay, now we're going to do these, do one bush at a time. I'm gonna wash this brush out. Okay, now this little bush right there, we'll just change the color, and I'm gonna use some some pink. Okay, pretty color. Hey, pink. I'm doing a pink bush from a friend, Pink. Pink, are you still in the building? Yeah, you're still in the building, Pink. There's a pink bush. Uh, okay, there we go. There's some pink. Okay. You did not see my first live I did today. I did my first live I did today. This is my second one I'm doing. I was going to try to do 3 lives, but something happened and I couldn't do the third live I wanted to. Something happened and I couldn't do it. Oh, well, that's okay. Okay. Ready? Okay, now wash this brush out with Otis thinner. Make sure it's Otis, or you'd be working by yourself. It's not Otis. Yep. You don't want to be working by yourself if it's Otis, not Otis. You messing with turpentine, you're gonna be working by yourself. Woo, man, that stuff stinks. And then you run everybody out too, because nobody don't want to smell turpentine. Woo-wee. You never smelled turpentine before? Man, that stuff stinks. Yeah, turpentine is not my favorite. Okay, now we're going to do some. You would think this is like a 16 by 20, but it's not. It's an 11 by 14 canvas. Let me give y'all a story on this, about this canvas that I'm painting on. There was a guy at my church that I go to, and so one day after church one Sunday, man asked me. He said, "What kind of canvases do you do you paint on?" So I paint on 11 by 14, 11 by 14s. And he said, "Oh, I'm just checking, just making sure what kind of canvases you paint." Well, the church I go to, they start having what you call a men's prayer breakfast, and what's I've been enjoying that. I've been going to some of these men's prayer breakfasts. I only been to one, and so anyway, so I get to the church for the men's prayer breakfast, and then I gave a painting to somebody in the church, and that person brought a painting off of me. And so anyway, the person who said, "What size canvas do I use?" He said, "I got something for you." I did not know what he's talking about. So anyway, these are the canvas that I got from the man from the church, and it's pretty cool. I really enjoy that. Now, sometimes when I run out of canvases, I can talk about other things, but I'm gonna start doing I think I'm gonna try to go live again probably tomorrow. I have to see. Um, but anyway, um, you know, I'm gonna make a couple of trees when I do this. Okay, here's a tree right here. We're gonna do a tree right there. So I've been fascinated. Let me tell you about this. I've been fascinated by angels. Um, and so this is something I want to do. And like I said, I've been fascinated by angels, messengers, and angels, and I've been fascinated by all of that. You know, so maybe I can talk about that during this live. But anyway, let me wash my brush. So let me tell you about this. Um, I think I will go ahead and share this with y'all here in the stream. Guys will probably like to hear this. Um, I've been fascinated. Like I said, I've been fascinated by angels, and so anyway, get some sap green when I tell you this. I'm gonna put some leaves on these trees right here. So anyway, um, I don't know how many years ago this was, but it was at a healing service, and I went to go hear a lady talk when many years ago. This was probably back in the 70s when this occurred, and so I'm trying to leave some space, so that way the the sky can show through. This is a very interesting what I'm wanting to share with you guys. Very interesting topic, and they're real, very real. But I want to share them in this live stream. You guys don't mind. Um. So anyway, so I was at a healing service. This was like years and years ago. I was at a healing service, and it was my time to get prayer. If you've never been to a healing service before, I really like them. And this, like I said, it was back. I would think it was back in the 70s. Yeah, it was back in the 70s. And so I was waiting my turn to, to get prayed for. And so as I was waiting my turn came up next to get prayed for. And this had happened to me before when I would get, prayed. Okay. So I was I was known what you call slain into the spirit. Okay. It happened to me many times. Okay. So that happened to me many times. And so that night it happened to me. And I was slain in the spirit. And so in a way, I could hear angels. And I saw them. I saw angels, and there were some of them, they was talking to me. They were talking to me, singing to me. And I had maybe about 1,000 of them, thousands of angels talking to me. Well, mostly they were singing to me. And if you never heard an angel sing before, it is beautiful. It's just as beautiful as it can be. And so um, anyway, I was there at night, and they started singing, and it was real beautiful, and it was real different. And I told my brother at the time that I was singing, I was hearing angels, and these angels, like I said, they were singing. They were singing. It was just beautiful as it can be, real beautiful. And but anyway, I was glad to hear it. I was glad to hear them singing. But they're real. They're real. But angels are just messengers. That's all they are. They're just they're just messengers, and they like to help people, and they help me. I can tell you all that. They helped me lots and lots of times. They had helped me. Okay, I'm gonna put some yellow ochre in here. And then there was another time I seen angels. I saw one when I was getting ready to go to school one morning. It was like several years ago, and I saw another one. it was on a school night when I saw it. Okay, so it was on a. I'm gonna pull this straight down so you want reflections. So let's, I'll just go in this paint board. So anyway, it was on a school night. This was many, many years ago. Uh, actually, it was back in the 80s. Back in the 80s. And it happened on a school night. Just getting through reading scriptures, and I prayed around about, I would say, close to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. My name was called twice that I know of. Woke up on the second time. So I woke up. Fantastic. Thank you, guys, girl. Guys, girl, I think you might like to hear this story about me and angels. Angels are fascinating to me. So, so on the second time, I woke up, and there was a messenger sitting in a chair on my clothes. Now I can't tell you what he told me because some of it's kind of personal, but he did tell me do not be afraid because they're not going to hurt. They're not going to hurt you. Uh, they're just messengers. Is all they are. They're just messengers sent by God, and it was very very moving, and it went on for about I don't know, not very long. I tell you that it did not go on for very very long. And then the next day, I get up to put my clothes on. Now here's the interesting part. So I get up to put my clothes on the next day. When I was there, my mom had a chair. She kept my clothes out for me. I went over there to put the clothes on. Touched the clothes. My clothes is as warm as like if they came out of the dryer. And that's where the angel was sitting on my clothes at night. And then on another occasion, um, I was about to go through depression. And I was about to go through depression because there's something I was wanting to do and I couldn't do it. And I started getting depressed about it. The more I got depressed about it, the worse it got. You know, the worse the depression got, and I felt really bad that night, that day. And I went to church. Well, before that, I had dreams. Now, here's one of the dreams that God gave to me one night. To tell you how bad my depression was getting, it was getting pretty bad. And so God gave me a dream. And in the dream, I got up to use the bathroom. And then in the dream, I opened up the door, my door, to go to use the bathroom. I turned and looked, and there I was sitting on the bed, and my mom and an angel. And my mom looked very sad. She looked very, very sad. Wanted to know what was wrong. The angel in the dream had told me to come back over and to sit down and listen. I mean, listen to him. So I did. And then other times I would have dreams, about that same situation. And then, um, I went to my church. And this is very interesting, very very interesting. Um, so I went to my church. My brother, my I tell you that my brother's a pastor, And so he was pastoring a church, and I was sitting on the second row. Always sit on the second row, at the church. Well, everything went fine in the Sunday school class. I was still feeling depressed. I was still feeling depressed, down and out, that kind of stuff. And so as I did, wow, that's a beautiful painting. As I did, well, they were sitting there wanting to take prayer requests. This was, a few years ago. This is back in 2014. That's how long ago this was. This is a very interesting story as well. So time come for the church service to start. So I was sitting there and my brother was talking to the congregation. And as he was talking, they were starting to meet and greet one another. And I could not move. I was told to sit there. As I was sitting there, there was a guy playing the piano that night. I mean, that day, I'm sorry, that day. And so um, this lady disappears out of nowhere. So this lady appears out of nowhere. She comes over and sits down next to me. Now, there are some things I cannot tell you because it's personal. But I can tell you that she looked very, 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 very beautiful. Very beautiful. Matter of fact, I thought it was Mary sitting next to me. That's how beautiful she was. Very young. She's very, very young looking. Her voice was very smooth, not like mine, but very smooth. And so I was sitting there, and I felt like I was up in heaven because it's that powerful. And I was just sitting there, listening to what she had to say. Like I said, I can't tell y'all, I can't tell you, I can't tell y'all what she said because it's too personal. Uh, but she was very concerned about me, very, very concerned. And when church was over, me and my brother was asked to go out and eat. Well, to make a long story short, I told my brother, I said, hey, I said, I had somebody sit next to me, and I said, I never seen that person before, but she was dressed in a long white robe, and her robe covers her feet. So I could not tell you if she had sandals on or she was barefoot. But I can tell you this. This story has a surprise ending to it. That night, I came home from church and I was thinking about it all that day, all that night. And then, as I did, God gave me a dream. And in that dream, I saw her again. Same, same, same church, same seats, and same questions. I remember in that dream that there was a man in the dream that went to the church. The man asked me, he said, hey, he said, who are you talking to? I said, what if I tell you, you would not believe me? He said, well, why don't you try me? So I did. And then in the dream, he still didn't believe me. I said, well, I said, I'm not sure, but I believe that was my cousin I was talking to. And then in the dream, he thought it was ridiculous. I said, no, not to me, it's not, because I'm talking to her. And then what I had was I had a very supernatural experience. And before she left that day, she told me to have a blessed day. Now, when she walked right in front of me, I felt a warmth breeze coming off from her onto me. Very, you know, I turned around and looked, and she had already gone. She had already left. No, I did not see how she left. I did not see how she left at all. And it's just, angels, like I said, uh, they fascinate me. I love, you know, I love thinking about the angels, God's messengers. That's all they are. They're just messengers sent by Him. And you're probably saying, is that true about you seeing her? Yes, very, very true. It's just, uh, you know, I wish I could see her again because she was so beautiful. I had never seen anybody that thin before, but she was very thin. Hmm. But yeah, uh, yeah. But that's just some things I cannot tell you what she told me because it's just too personal, you know, too personal. And but in a way, yeah, it was really uh, it was something else, you know. You hear people say angels unaware. And that is true. Angels unaware. Um, and then there was another time an incident happened to me. Y'all heard that story about where I almost drowned? Let me put a sign right there. By using a hot knife, a little paint on it, and pressed in. Okay, I'm gonna move so that way I can stretch my knee. My knee gets pretty sore sometimes. I'm gonna still talk to you guys, okay? But I'm gonna move so I can stretch my knee. Okay. Don't leave me yet, guys. Don't leave me. Yeah, don't leave me. Okay. Did you guys enjoy that? Yeah, did you guys enjoy that painting? Okay, now let me tell you. There's two other occasions this had occurred to me. Um, yes. Yes, guy, girl. Yes, I have seen girl angels before. Yes. This is very interesting because they they fascinate me. I had experiences before, and there's have been um, that day when I thought I was going to drown. Okay, and then when I was in the pool that day at the water park, and I thought I was going to drown, somebody reached in a hand and pulled me up out of the water. Now you had to realize that there was no lifeguards. Okay, there was no lifeguards around. No lifeguards. My sister-in-law was out there, but my sister-in-law was on the other side of the park. I mean, she was there. She was watching. She was watching the whole thing. I believe there was an angel that pulled me up out of the water. And then there was another time, about 2 years ago. I was at a festival, an art festival, having a time of my life. Well, I felt like I needed to talk to somebody about the Lord, and so I did. There's a man and his daughter out there, and I was talking to that man. Well, during the time I was talking to this man, there's a person that showed up in the crowd. Just showed up in the crowd. He wasn't talking to nobody, no nothing. And he approached me. And this person sits down on the left hand side of where I'm sitting. I turn around and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" He never said a word. There were some trees that day, a group of trees. This person was looking right up into the sky through those trees. It's like if he was on an assignment. And he was very thin and very young looking. Very, very young looking. I had read I read a thing about angels, and there are angels that comes in three different forms. Uh, One way they come in is they come in like in human form, and the ones I've been seeing have been more towards like humans. Well, you know what I'm saying, in human form. Now I have seen them in dreams. When God gives me a dream at night and it has to do with angels, then they are, they still look young. They still look young. Okay. I had a dream one night about the archangel. I had a dream about the archangel one night. Michael, the archangel. So I had a dream about him one. And then let me tell you about this. One day I was getting ready. I was getting ready to go to church. This is a few years ago, and I was taking a bath, and I had my door closed, and I had no radio on, none. I had no radio on, and I heard singing, beautiful singing I have ever heard. Was there a bird? No, not in my house. No birds in my house. It was angels, and they're singing to me. Now, if you never heard an angel sing before, it is beautiful. I mean, it is as beautiful as it can be. You see, angels are real. They're real. Heaven is real. I've seen heaven before. I've seen heaven in the open vision. Let me share a quick story with you guys. I've been streaming for over an hour. About 1 hour into the last thing. Let me share the story with you. I was growing up. I was growing up in the neighborhood a few years ago in the 80s. And so I didn't have many friends growing up. A few, maybe, but not many. And I knew this young kid, and he asked me one day. He said, "Hey," he said, "I would just like to hang out with me." I said, "Sure, I'd be glad to." So we started to walk. As we started walking, uh, he said, "You see the house right there? Well, this is like a two-story house." I said, "Yeah, I see it." He said, "I want you to come inside the house with me." So went in this house he told me to go into with him. I went in, and immediately, I was asked to leave. Now, when I left, it wasn't him. It wasn't that kid. The Holy Spirit was talking to me, or Jesus was talking to me. Like, son, you leave, leave out of this house now. So what I was doing, I was obeying. I was obeying the Father. I was obeying the Father or the Holy Spirit. It might have been the Holy Spirit, or it could have been Jesus, but I was obeying. And it said to leave now, get out. So I get out. That house just reeked with smoke. I left. Here comes this kid I was hanging out with. Here comes this kid, and he approached me. He said, "Hey," he says, "why did you leave?" I said, "Because I was asked to leave." I was asked. He didn't tell me who asked you to leave. He didn't ask me that. The Holy Spirit told me to get out of there. You see, I was obeying. I was obeying. I was obeying. I still obey. I still obey them. I still obey. I used to obey my parents. Yeah, every kids need to obey their parents. You need to obey your parents. You need to listen to your parents. And for me, I obey both of my parents. And now I obey the Father and the Son, and Jesus. For example, one night God gave me a dream, and I was awake. I heard this awfulest noise I had ever heard. It was loud. It was a very loud noise. So I get up, I go to use my bathroom, go in to wash my hands, and I heard sirens. Lots and lots and lots of sirens. I mean, there was tons of sirens. And this was probably about 5:30 in the morning, probably close to 4:30. I went to my window, that window. Okay, I went to that window. I looked out, and I saw fire trucks, ambulances, police cars. But I had never heard anything like I did that night. And I was asked to pray. I prayed because I had no idea what was going on. None. I was praying, obeying. I was obeying Him. I was obeying the Father. I was obeying Jesus. I was obeying. I was asked to pray. And when I prayed, tears flowing out of my eyes. I had no idea what was going on. You see, I was obeying. I was obeying him. It helps. Excuse me. It helps to obey. You know, I was just thinking about something. You know, sometimes it's, after my after that day after I was on ground, I can't look at a pool no more. I can't look at a pool. Excuse me. And I can't look at any of those slides because if you haven't ever seen a water slide before, especially ones that are at the parks, water park, they're all tall up, real high up. One thing is I have arthritis in one of my knees. Yeah, I have arthritis in one of my knees. And the story on that is that this happened back um, in the 1980s. In the 1980s, I was walking home from visiting a friend of mine. And this friend of mine worked at a school. He worked as a janitor. And I really enjoyed him. Oh, hang on for a minute, guys. I'll be right back. No, just a sec. Okay, guys. Hang on, I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay. All right. So, oh, I know I was going to do guys. Okay. So, anyway, the story on my knee. And this is my left knee. Okay. So, the story on my left knee is that I have arthritis. And so, what happened was I was walking home. Like I said, I was walking home one night from visiting a friend of mine. And like I said, this friend of mine, he was a janitor at school. And I was walking home, and you know how the pavement, you know how the sidewalks get wet, even if it's been misted. Okay, it was kind of foggy that night and misting a little bit, and the concrete was slippery. It was slippery, and it was like a little bridge. I was walking on a little small bridge, and it's made of concrete and metal. My right leg got tangled up with my left leg and threw me down, and my knee hit the concrete. It, it hit the concrete very, very hard, very, very hard. Uh, I was in pain a little bit. And as I did this, I didn't hear anything in there break. Thank goodness. Didn't hear anything snap. Thank goodness. But it did hurt. It didn't hurt for a long time. Make a long story short, um, I had to go get a physical one day. This is a few years ago. I had to go get a physical. And I told my doctor after they got through, checking me and everything. So I told this to my doctor. I said, "Hey," I said, "you mind to check my left knee for me?" He said, "Sure, I will." He said, "What's wrong with it?" So I told him I fell on it. Now back then, I fell and scraped my knee, okay? But it was not no ordinary scrape because the way when I fell on my knee that night, bent my knee all the way back was where my back was. I was thankful I didn't dislocate in my knee. And so my mom, y'all heard about my mom, when my mom had rheumatism arthritis. The rheumatism arthritis can make you cripple. I don't know. I seen that in my own mom, with her fingers and stuff. So my mom was in the doctor's office that day with me. The doctor started feel. He said, "Well," he said, "I don't feel anything broken." Which that, to me, I was breathing a sigh of relief. And then he said, "Well," he said, "you might have either tendonitis or you could have arthritis." Now, let me tell you guys about this. I don't think it would be tendonitis because the other day I was messing around with my train. So I have electric train, and I just play around with electric trains. Just something to do. It's a fun hobby anyway. It's a fun hobby to get into. It's a real fun hobby to get into. It's starting to do electric trains. So I was standing up and I was working on my train table. And in that left knee, I started hearing things. When I say like making a crunching noise. And so as it did that, I'm like, could tendonitis do that? I don't know. Arthritis could do that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the angels was there that night watching me the whole time and keeping me safe. I love talking to you guys. Oh, oh, thank you guys, girl. Guys, girl says, "I love hearing your stories, Mark." Hey, if some of you guys don't have God's girl, hey, go by and check out her channel and connect with her too. Do the same for me. If you don't know me, go to my channel, connect with me, thumbs up, ring that bell. Yes, ring my bell. Yeah, I'm serious. Ring that bell for me. I would really appreciate it. I've been on for an hour. Ooh, a little bit over an hour. Okay, I like this. This should help my watch time hours. I need to get my watch time hours back up. And this is, by the way, this is my second lab to do. Second one. I'm gonna show y'all that painting again. Can I show y'all that painting again? Yes. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I did this one many, many years ago. I took a class and I did this painting. Isn't that beautiful? It's pretty, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? You can paint just like this. It might take you it might take you a while to paint like that, but you can paint like that. You just have to you just have to make your mind up to it. You see, if you want to become a artist, if you want to become an artist, all right? If you want to become an artist like me, now, like I said, I am a professional artist, okay? But if you want to become an artist, what you have to do, you have to practice. You have to devote some practice time. If you want to become good at something, that painting I just showed you, I did not learn how to paint like that overnight. It takes time, lots of time. You see, painting is like playing a musical instrument. What do you have to do? If you're playing a guitar, what do you have to do? You have to practice. You have to practice, 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 practice. And if you practice something, then what do? You become good at it, right? It's the same thing with painting. Same thing with painting. If you're going to, if you say, well, hey, I want to paint. Well, my friend, you have to keep practicing, 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 practice until you get good at it. Because I don't think you're going to learn how to paint like that overnight. It takes it takes practice. It takes lots and lots and lots of practice. Sometimes it takes many hours of a day. You see, sometimes when I was in art school, they would teach me how to mix colors. A lot of my training comes from watching other artists. I used to watch other artists on TV. I still do, you know. But I watched the old, what they call the old masters. The old masters would paint like that, you know. I learned by the best, you know. And when you else saw that painting I did, let me tell you about something. My mom was living at the time when I did that painting. My mom was living. Oh, my mom was she was so thrilled. Oh, she said, son, she said, I did not know you could paint like that. I share a thing on Mother's Day about mom. I know Mother's Day was like last Sunday. Let's think about mine. See, my mom and me, we did things together. We used to read together. We used to read scriptures together. Like I said, we used to help one another. She helped me with my homework. I helped her with her feet because she had arthritis. Sometimes I sometimes I think about that, and then when I was helping her with her feet and everything, I'm like, I don't have nobody to do that for nowadays. I don't have a I don't have anybody I can do that for nowadays. That's because I missed that doing that for my mom. Moms are special, right? Yeah, just like dads. Dads are special. I know daddy either. But I have a heavenly father. Heavenly Father. And my heavenly father loves me very, 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 very much. He loves you too. But my mom, I can remember a time when I was doing that for my mom for her feet. She was laying it. She was on the couch one day, and I was doing it for her. So I wish I could go back in those times, and do it. I would do it. I would do it if if there's a way if there's a way I can go back into time. I would go back into time. You know, I would love to go back in time and live that day back over where I was helping my mom with her feet. It didn't bother me. It did not bother me one bit to do that. But like I said, I had nobody to do that. No, nobody. But I still, still think about it. And then there's other times when my mom would take me places. I used to belong to a, I used to belong to this thing called the flying remote control planes. And this is a funny story. Y'all love this story. So for me to be in this club, I had to have an airplane so I could fly in this club because with this, there's no remote control stuff. And so I had to go to a hobby shop one day. This is many, many years ago when my mom was living. So I had to go to the hobby shop. And so I went to the hobby shop and I told the person, I said, well, I said, I belong to this club. And I said, I have to, I have to have an airplane. And I told them what kind of airplane I have. And they said, oh, yeah, that one worked real fine, real fine. Well, let me tell you. uh, let me tell you about this. So I charged up my airplane. Okay, I charged up my airplane, and they have flight instructors on these remote control things. Okay, so they actually do have flight instructors. They teach you how to land these remote control planes and take them off. Do the aerobatics, with a remote control plane. Well, the field I was in at the time was a big field, big field. And so I was tying my airplane and had overhead charged up. And so I said, is there anybody that can help me fly today? Now, those things, sometimes you have to wait until it's not a windy day. Okay. You have to wait so it's not a windy day. And so there's a instructor say, hey, I'll help you with your plane. Well, let me tell you about something. If you guys want something to laugh at, hear this story because this story is hilarious. So you would have many men out there flying, and there was, several of us flying that day. My mom would just drop me off, and as my mom dropped me off, um, so this happened that day, and so I had my plane up in the air. And these planes didn't go very high up, just a few feet up. And my plane started to get out of control. Right? It started getting out of control, and I thought we was doing aerobatics with my plane. Now this plane was made out of styrofoam, all styrofoam. And so there's other guys out flying, and you could go inside of a building too if needed. But many of these guys park their trucks and stuff like that. And so as they parked the trucks, I was just, me and the flight instructor was out there flying a remote control plane until that plane started getting out of control. Well, let me tell you about something. That plane, not only did it get out of control that day, but it started to dive. My plane started coming down like this, and you've never seen the people run in your life. And people just scatter everywhere. I mean, they scatter everywhere. Some people ran and got into their cars. Mm-hmm. And that little building I was telling you about, but it had a roof over it. And some people even went inside of that little building. And it's me and the instructor standing out there trying to get my plane, to come back down. But it came down all right. Let me tell you all about that. The plane finally came down, but not before it hit a car. Now that's when my mom drove up. Okay, my mom drove up in her car, and the plane hit somebody's car. Oh, the instructor came back. The instructor came back that day, and he said, "Son," he said, "I got some bad news for you." I said, "You do?" He said, "Yep." He said, "This is all that's left of your plane. There was no landing gears, those wheels, no landing gears, no propeller, no wings, no tail section. That plane was after after they hit somebody's car. That plane was destroyed. It was really tore up. Now I'll put it that way. That plane was tore up like big time. Well, I couldn't believe it, man. My plane was literally tore up. You know, so and of course I brought a new plane, but it didn't. After a couple of times, I got some use out of that one. And then last year I bought a new one, and me and my brother was flying that one, and it got away from us. Oh me, yes, that plane then got away from us. Oh wow, yeah. I haven't found that plane anyway. Yeah, that plane is long gone. That plane was made of styrofoam, man. Yep. Let's see. More story. Don't buy an airplane if you're going to be in that kind of club. Don't buy an airplane that's made of styrofoam. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you about these two dogs I had. I had these two dogs, and these two dogs were very nice doggies I had, a beagle and a Labrador. So one day I was painting, and as I was painting, I was having a fun time painting, and I had paints set out on my bed. This was many years ago. And so the beagle decided it wants to stretch out. Now the beagle had a very short tail in that dog. And that dog's name was Daisy. Daisy. And the Labrador's name was Inky. But Inky and Daisy was like my little friends. And so one day I was painting and enjoying myself, and the beagle decided it wants to get up there where I was and enjoying the painting. Well, let me tell you. The beagle got its tail into the paint, and it looked like it was brown paint, maybe Lism crimson, red, or something like that. And then the Labrador got one of its paws into the paint. Oh me! Well, I had to tell my mom, and we had to give a dog a bath. And when we gave that dog a bath, you know how doggies do. You know how they shaking them. Well, they were glad to get the bath, and of course, my mom told me, don't do that again, whatever. So I didn't, I didn't put the paint back on the bed no more. And then, tell you about that that turpentine. Let me tell you this story. I told this story before on one of my lives. I'm gonna tell you this again. So I ran out of Otis thinner. And so I went to the store one day, me and my mom did, and picked up what I thought was Otis paint thinner. It was turpentine. Oh, me. So that day, me and my mom had to go to the grocery store. I used to love going to the grocery store with my mom, And so as we went to went to the grocery store, um, yeah, big, we pulled in the garage that day. when I was, when I once was, opened up the door, and my mom, she was coming behind me. Well, she opened up the door and she said, "What's that smell?" I said, "What does it smell like?" She said, "Did you mop today?" Well, I would mop the floors for my mom, and she said, "Have you been mopping the floors today?" I said, "No, ma'am. No, no, I didn't mop the floors today." She said, "Well, what does that smell?" I said, "Turpentine." My mom about had a fit. She told me don't use turpentine anymore because of the smell. Yes, y'all can just about tell about that turpentine that's going to stink. Of course, I like I said, I miss my mom very, very much. I miss my two doggies. I miss my dad. And I can remember another time where I was in a store with uh, with my mom and her friend, and it was like like on a April or May day, and it was on springtime, and the weather outside was getting not very good. So in the store, I heard the uh, one of those beeps go off on one of those weather things. Well, we got home. Make a long story short. So we got home, and I looked out my window, and I saw one of the clouds I had never seen before. So I looked at the cloud, and I had one of those no other radios, and so that way I could listen of warnings and stuff. And so I had issued a tornado warning. And the first time I ever seen a tornado, it's a little bit scary. Okay. And so I was, I looked out and I saw a tornado right across the street. I mean, across the street. And I saw debris. So debris flying up in the air. And there's a, it's a little bit scary. And then my mom was on the phone. And so I told my mom, so she came to the window and looked out. She could not believe it. I told my mom, I said, we have to get on the floor. She said, oh no. She said, She said, no, I can't get on the floor because of my knee. She had arthritis. So then, I ran across the street to check on my neighbors and make sure my neighbors are all okay. So yeah, it was so tornado, tornado for the very first time. Yes, not very good to see. Okay, I've been on for a minute over about an hour now. Okay. Hopefully I can go live again tomorrow. We'll get two. Okay. Keep watching. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream, guys. Okay. I had fun tonight talking to you guys. Yes. And so anyway, guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks to my mods, and hopefully we can get the links working. Okay. And by the way, I've been really enjoying Pete Motivations, Women of the Bible. It's very interesting to listen to. And so, so anyway, I'm really enjoying listening to that. I'll watch it tonight, and it's very, very interesting to listen to. It's very interesting to watch and to listen. Next week, I'll announce myself. Next week is the painting teaching live class that I'll be teaching, okay, on my channel at 8 p.m. Central Time. I can have up to 10 people on my panel. 10. Okay. Then let's see. I think that's about it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Okay. And I had almost a full house tonight. Yes. So remember, Jesus loves you, and I do too. Thanks for watching.